You won't learn this history in school. America didn't just take indigenous land, they also took the dead. Since the beginning of colonization, settlers and collectors robbed Native American graves. They often took scalps, skulls, religious items, clothing, and they often sold them to museums, or kept them as trophies and passed them on as family heirlooms. This wasn't rare, it was normal, and it gets even worse than that. In the 1930s, Dr. Samuel George Morton in Philadelphia built a skull collection and wrote Crania America. He measured skulls of different groups to rank them by race. And this pseudoscience was used to defend conquest and the destruction of indigenous life. After the Civil War, the United States made it official. In 1867, the Army sent out Circular Number 2. Field surgeons were told to collect skulls, particularly Native American skulls. So when Native Americans were slaughtered, their skulls were sent back to the Army Medical Museum for study. Sand Creek, 1964, Colorado troops attack a Cheyenne and Arapaho camp at dawn. Women, children, elders massacred, bodies mutilated, parts including skulls were taken and later ended up in museum collections. Cheyenne and Arapaho families spent decades trying to get their relatives returned home. Modoc War, 1873, after the United States executed Captain Jack, Scotch and John, Boston Charlie, and Black Jim, Army personnel cut off their heads and shipped them to Washington for study. These warriors who defended their homeland weren't even allowed to rest in peace. Dakota leader Little Crow, 1863, killed by settlers in Minnesota. His scalp and his remains were on display in a museum for years. It wasn't until 1971 that his remains were finally returned to his people. In 1862, 38 Dakota men were executed. It's the largest mass execution in U.S. history. After these executions, Dr. William Mayo, founder of the Mayo Clinic, took the body of Cut Nose, boiled it down, and kept his skeleton for study. Apparently, he used to let his children play with Cut Nose's skull. Grave robbing and the theft of indigenous cultural patrimony went on for decades. Finally, in 1990, NAGPRA was enacted into law. But NAGPRA, in many ways, has been ineffective. Thousands of Native remains are still locked up in museums. So the fight continues to repatriate indigenous relatives to their communities. They didn't just want the land, they wanted everything. Indigenous bodies, regalia, sacred items, even Native children. This is the history they don't want you to know. Don't forget, you're skating on Native land.